So welcome to Empowered Elites team call for September the 23rd. Before I get started, does anybody have any rank advancements they want to shout out? I don't think we do, but I just want to double check. Okay. So I have a few things that I just want to say to you guys, and I had a whole call planned, but something happened in the past few hours since I posted that, and it solidified even more why I want to share about this topic. And I'm going to save some time at the end so that if you guys have questions, I can answer them because I know a lot of you have had a lot of questions lately, especially sharing the coaching opportunity. So I'll make some time at the end to do so. What I wanted to share with you tonight is a little bit about where I'm at and what I've learned, especially this past 2 weeks. So I know that we've had a lot of guest speakers and we haven't really been able to connect as a team. And that's why I wanted to take a little bit of time to do that tonight. As most of you know, Declan was really sick last week and I was extremely sleep deprived. I felt like I was just trying to play catch up this entire time. And typically my work time is at night. So I wasn't getting in my focus work time like normal. And I just felt like I was running an uphill battle that I just could not catch up. And I talked to Laura earlier and I told her a little bit how I feel that sometimes as a leader, you feel like you're not doing the best that you can. And it's something that I want to share with you guys because for me, it's been a really eye-opening time that if your heart is not in the right place, it's really easy to be hard on yourself. And if you're going through things in your personal life, your ability to show up and do what you need to do as a coach can be hindered. And what I wanted to share was that in the past few days, as you guys know, I'm working on making 2 brand new trainings for our team so that we have a really great new coach boot camp to put people in so that we can add coaches at any time of month, and it's going to be self-paced so that if you sign up a coach, 2 weeks through the month that we have a place to put them, and up until this point we haven't had that. And I'm also revamping the Emerald to Diamond coach training so that it will be more helpful in helping you develop as a leader and helping other coaches get started with their businesses. So with that said, obviously because of me not having my normal schedule and not sleeping at night, I've been feeling like I've been failing. And I'm very hard on myself when things like this happen, that I'm not able to produce like I want to and get the things done that I have my mind set on. And I wanted to share this because it's a lesson for all of you that if you don't get what you need to done in that certain amount of time, it doesn't mean that you fail. And it doesn't mean that you've given up. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that you have to keep pushing forward, and that you have to stop sometimes and ground yourself and balance yourself out, because if you feel really spread thin like I have the past 2 weeks, it's very hard to give to others, and it's very hard to feel inspired or feel passionate or feel all of those things that we need to feel to be able to do our best as coaches, right? And if you felt off before, you know this. It's very, very, very hard to keep up, with helping other people when you're not feeling great with yourself. So I've stepped back. I dug into personal development. I took some time off this afternoon and I went grocery shopping before I went to pick my son up. And I was looking at the people that were in front of me in line, and both parents were probably at least 300 pounds. The daughter was maybe 12. She was extremely overweight. And I was looking at what they were buying. They had Pop-Tarts and potato chips and just any and every kind of junk food that you could possibly think of. And they checked out and their bill was almost $90. And I was just sitting here kind of observing And, you know, I checked out and I bought all my normal healthy food I buy, and my bill was only $10 more than theirs was. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that this is the answer I've been needing to see for the past few days, because it's very easy in this business sometimes to get so focused on hitting Success Club, on hitting rank goals, on hitting income goals, of doing all these things. Okay. It's very easy sometimes to get lost when you're pushing for goals and, you know, you're struggling to hit those goals. It's very easy to lose focus of why we do this sometimes. And being behind a family like that in the line tonight hit me really hard, that was why I started to do this in the first place. Because when I started this journey, I was lost. I didn't know where to start. I had no guidance, no help. I felt like crap all the time. I needed a support system and I needed a cheerleader, and that's what Beachbody gave me. And as you guys know, I lost my dad young of a heart attack because he was unhealthy. And when I saw this family tonight, it was like a smack in the face of, if you're not feeling wholehearted and passionate about showing up every day and helping people, that it's never going to matter if you hit goals. It's not going to mean anything to you if you don't truly wake up every day feeling like you have a purpose to serve other people and to help other people. And, you know, I got in the car after the grocery store and I sat and I thought about this, and I thought, you know, since I've been coaching a year and a half, I've had a lot of fears and I've had a lot of doubts and I've hit a lot of roadblocks. And the bottom line is, if you keep your heart focused on serving others and you have a purpose so clear and so strong that even when you have challenges in your personal life and you have struggles and you miss goals and you feel like you're playing catch up or you didn't get done what you needed to for the day, if you can step back and remind yourself of the bigger picture of why we do this in the first place. And this might sound kind of harsh, but as a coach, if you don't really love waking up in the morning and thinking, I can't wait to send some messages out to people today to see who I can help, then this isn't the right thing for you. And you know, I think that when you're getting a lot of no's and you're telling people that, you know, are they interested in coaching, and they're telling you, no thanks, it's not for me. Sometimes it can be kind of it can be really kind of hard on your spirit that you just want to share something you love so much with people. And you know, it can really take a toll on, like, why isn't this happening for me, and why am I showing up and doing this every day and it's not, you know, nothing's happening like I want it to be, or I've been working so hard for a goal for so long and I'm not hitting it. And you know, the bottom line is, like I said, that all of those are great things to strive for because they give you a benchmark that you're growing your business. And the reality is, if your heart is not in the right place for serving others and truly knowing that you are changing lives, that you're going out there and you're seeking out people that need our help, that have no idea where to start, people that, you know, their families are overweight, they have health problems. Maybe there's somebody like me that's lost a parent and they have, you know, health problems in their family that could be prevented by a healthier lifestyle. Maybe they're people that have no friends or no family support and they need the positive community. Maybe there's somebody, you know, like me that needed an opportunity to better my life as a single mom, and Beachbody has allowed me to do that. Maybe you're somebody like Kelly, who's a crazy busy mom over there folding laundry on a team call, who wanted to be home with her second baby after she had her, and coaching has allowed her to do that. You never know who is out there and what they need until you ask. And I'm going to say to you guys, if fear is something that is holding you back right now, fear of sharing on Facebook, fear of being vulnerable, fear of reaching out and sending somebody a message and saying, hey, I have a challenge group starting in 3 weeks. Would you be interested in learning more? following up with somebody and, you know, reminding them of what you've talked about and that you're there to help and support them. Reaching out to somebody and giving them the opportunity to decide that maybe coaching could be something that could help them change their life. If you're not doing that and you're stuck in that fear, you're doing people a disservice. And you're not only doing them a disservice, but you're doing yourself a disservice, because the reality of this is, if you want this to be something life-changing for you, you have to keep your heart focused on other people, because you will never get anywhere in this business if that is not where you keep your heart all the time. And bettering yourself so that you can better others, and growing as a person so that you have not only, you know, the foundation and the fuel to be a better you, but to go out there and give that back to the world. Does that make sense to you guys? Or do I just sound like I'm ranting and raving? Because this was like something that, you know, I feel like I keep my head down and I work so hard and I worry so much about making sure that I'm, you know, providing the trainings and the files and the answers that you guys need to get out there and run your businesses. And sometimes I think it's just important to stop and remember why we do this in the first place. And, you know, I know that sometimes you may feel that people think like, oh, they're just Beachbody coaches and they're so damn positive and they're obnoxious and they're drinking this stupid shake all the time and they're posting sweaty selfies on Facebook. And it's easy, you know, to feel a little bit let down or belittled by what people think of what we do. And that's why it's important to keep working and growing on you, because when you know your purpose and you're solid in it, you don't care what other people think anymore. And the other reason that this is so prevalent in my mind right now is because I got a message last night from a girl that I had talked to for a few months. And last week when Declan and I were both sick, I was not checking my messages as often as I normally do. And I got a really nasty message from this girl last night that said, you know, basically along the lines of, she feels like I ignored her message intentionally and that she hopes I don't do that to other people, because it was really hard to reach out and ask for help. And I cried when I read the message because I felt awful. I felt awful that she had needed my help, and that somehow along the lines last week of me being exhausted and not feeling great, that I missed her message and I missed that opportunity to help somebody that obviously really needed my help. And, you know, I kind of got on the defense and I thought, well, I show up every day and I do the best I can, but we're not perfect, guys. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fail. You're gonna have people that don't understand why you do what you do and why you believe in it so much and why you're so damn passionate all the time. Why you work on being a better you and read books and, you know, make sacrifices to do things like this. Some people just won't get it, and that's fine. As long as you get it, and when you lay in bed at night, you know that you've done everything that you can do possibly to move yourself forward and to reach out and be that light in other people's lives and give them the opportunity for change, then you know that you've done the best that you could. And you know, I know that a lot of you are pushing for rank goals right now and income goals, and, you know, you're getting in these trainings and you're feeling frustrated that things aren't happening the way that you want them to. And I just wanted this to be a reminder to you guys that that's not what this is all about. You know, that those ranks and those stats and the recognition and all that, that's nice and fine and dandy, but if you don't truly feel this in your heart, that you're making an impact and you're creating a ripple effect, then you're missing the whole point of this. And what I had said when I posted about the call, I had said, it's so important to know your vision. And you know, I feel like a lot of times we think we have a vision and we say like, oh, I'd like to pay off debt. No, I'd like to buy a home and, you know, all these things. But do you truly believe that if you show up every day and you be consistent and you, like I say, keep your heart focused on serving others, that you can and you absolutely will achieve those huge visions for yourself? Do you honestly believe that? And I want you to sit down and I want you to think about that tonight, because I know for me, it took me a while. It took me a little bit of time believing that I could absolutely make that happen if I just showed up every day and believed in something that I could not yet see. You know, it's easy to look at coaches in this company. Like I was looking at, can't even think of her name right now. The fit nurse. I can't think of her name. I know you follow her, Laura. She just bought, you know, this beautiful ski home that she's had on her vision board for years now. She actually did a post last week about her vision board and the things that were on her vision board. And it was like hitting elite and having 10 coaches make a certain amount of money every month, and you know, buying this dream vacation home and all these things. And it was things that you would look at and think, well, that's just absolutely ridiculously crazy. Like, you're a brand new coach, you're not even a diamond, like, and you're going to dream that big. But the reality is that you can dream that big, and those things can happen, and they're not going to happen if you don't get out from behind that fear and start opening yourself up and being vulnerable and sharing your story on Facebook so that you can inspire that change in others. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you're perfect. It doesn't mean that you don't struggle. It doesn't mean that you don't have really shitty days like I had yesterday. But it means that the next day that you work through it and you figure out how to do better and how to become better and how to refocus yourself on what truly matters. And that's serving others. And the last thing that I wanted to say was that when I signed up as a coach, it was very hard for me to see that if I kept doing what I was doing and I kept sharing this opportunity, that one day I would have a call to run for my own team, for people that had been brought in just because I stepped out behind that fear of judgment, of what are people going to think if I start sharing on Facebook? Or what are people going to think if I reach out to them and ask them to be in one of my challenges? Or what is somebody going to think if I invite them to be a coach on my team? Was I afraid of people telling me no? Hell yeah. Did a lot of people tell me no? You bet. Do a lot of people still tell me no? Yes. But look at this team that we have now. I love every single one of you guys. I know your lives. I know your family. I know your kids. You know, I know that as much as sometimes I feel like I struggle and I suck as a leader, that I never have to worry about you guys judging me for not being perfect. And then I'm learning how to do this right alongside you. And that speaks to the ripple effect of what happens if you just keep showing up and being consistent every day. Because a year and a half ago, this was a dream of mine. Okay, don't. Thank you. This was a dream of mine, to have a team of coaches that would be on the same mission as me, and that's what's happened. And that's what's going to happen for you guys too, but for that to happen, you have to really work through whatever it is that you're struggling with every day. And I can't get off. Mama's running a call, okay? No. Come here. You want to stand up and say hi? Hi. What I was saying was that this was something that was on my vision board, you know, when I started, to have a team of women who had chosen to empower themselves and to better their lives and better their situations and to control what they could control by showing up and trying to be better every day and showing up and being a light in others' lives. And that was something that was on my vision board that has now come into fruition because I've shown up every day and done those consistent behaviors. And am I where I want to be yet? No, but none of us are. And if you keep dreaming bigger and you keep growing, you're going to grow into somebody that can dream up goals bigger than you could ever imagine, because you're capable of dreaming that big and you believe that you're capable of achieving those things if you just continue to show up and progress every day. And it's, you know, the same simple concept is when you start a workout journey. You know, you have 50 pounds of baby weight to lose, and Does it happen overnight? No. But if you show up every single day and you make better eating choices and you press play on your 30-minute workout and you post in your challenge group and you seek help when you need it, and you have a day where you fail and you struggle, but you get back up and you try harder the next day, it's the same damn thing. And yes, Laura, it's a slight edge. It's showing up and doing those simple behaviors every single day that sometimes seem invisible, that seem like they're getting you nowhere, and maybe you don't have anything to show for it at the end of the day, but you know that if you show up and you do those things every day, that this is going to be something that not only changes your life, but has a ripple effect to change so many lives. And you know what's the coolest part of it is that I sit and I think now, I made this one choice to sign up as a coach and spend $180 that I barely had as a single mom to work on being a better version of me. And look what has happened. Look at all the lives that we're touching as a team. Over 100 lives every single month, because together we show up and we work on pouring ourselves into others. And you may not see that, and you may not sit back and think about that, but I do, because it all starts with one person. And for each of you, you all have that same ability to go out and have this huge, crazy ripple effect on so many people, and have coaches come onto your team that are as persistent and dedicated, as passionate as you. But it all begins with you. If you don't believe that you can do that, and you don't believe that you can grow into the leader you need to be to achieve it, and you know, maybe you set a big goal and say, hey, I want to achieve 2-star diamond this year, but you don't sit down at night and think, I know that I can do that if I show up and put in the effort every day, what are you doing? What are you doing it for? What does it really mean to you if you're setting a goal on paper and you're not showing up and keeping your heart in the right place every day to try to move forward towards that? So I want you guys to sit down and think about, what is it that you really want for your life, and what is the mission that you're on, that makes you show up every day. And that's going to be similar but different for each one of you, because I know a big part of my mission is, number one, to help parents be healthy, so that parents like I see in the grocery store tonight, that hopefully they don't end up giving their daughter the same fate that I had, losing my dad at 12 because my dad was unhealthy. That maybe by sharing my story, I can inspire other single moms to know that they don't have to drown just going through the motions every single day, that they have a choice to have a better life, to create a better future, to show up and be a better version of themselves. And essentially, in my eyes, everybody that I'm helping them not be a victim of their own circumstance anymore, whether it's shitty eating or not making themselves a priority to exercise, or talking horrible negative self-talk to themselves that they're not worth it and they're not good enough, or maybe instilling that hope in people that they're made for more, that they have a purpose here, and that maybe that through coaching they're going to find that purpose too. And that's a huge part of why I show up every single day. And even when I struggle, I still know when I lay down in bed at night, I think, how can I be better? And how can I better serve others? Declan's trying to get me to play with him right now. But I wanted you guys, I can't catch it right now, baby. I just wanted to say to you guys, if this is not something that has yet clicked to you, that when you open your eyes in the morning, that you are on this earth for a purpose and that you are here to make an impact on other people, then you have not yet had your, what I call your coach aha moment. Because you can get on team calls, you know, you can post on Facebook, you can reach out once in a while, but if you're not consistently showing up every day, there's a reason why. And it's, you know, it has nothing to do, in my eyes, yes, time management is a factor, but in reality, we can all make time for something that we truly believe in. And when you know your purpose, it is easy to show up and be consistent. It's something that you don't even think about anymore. And the last thing before I end my rant is that as you progress in this business, the things that you're required to do and the ways that you have to grow as a person get harder. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it that it gets any easier. The consistent vital behaviors, you get better at them. It gets easier to reach out to people. You get better with your wording of how to invite. You get better at posting on Facebook. You get better at a lot of things, but that discipline of showing up to grow yourself every day doesn't get easier, because the higher you climb, the more you feel like you have to learn. And not only that, but leading a team is an incredible thing, but you feel like you have a lot of people every day that you need to help. And when you're not making sure that you're filling yourself up with personal development and taking care of your business first, it's hard to give to others. And so I want you to know that the more solid you get in your consistent things that you're doing daily right now, the better off you're going to be at developing as a leader, because all those things become second nature that you don't even think about anymore. And that's allows you to have the ability to focus more on other people and other coaches and your customers and how to create trainings and how to do all these things, because that's the reality for you guys. If you want to do something huge with your lives and with this business, you're going to get to a point where you have to do all these things yourself. And I don't want that to scare you, because I know that it can be intimidating, and I felt quite a bit intimidated when I started. But the thing is, just like anything else you learn as a brand new coach, you learn how to invite people, you learn how to form, you learn how to post on Facebook, you learn all those little things. And it's the same thing when you're starting to learn to be a leader. It's just that you're not leading just you anymore and teaching yourself how to do things, you're teaching other people how to do things. And as difficult as it can be sometimes to feel like you're doing well as a leader, it's even that much more fulfilling, because you know that you're not just changing your life anymore, that you're changing your coaches' lives and your coaches' futures, and they're going forward and they're paying it forward to other people to help them be happier, to be healthier, to start their own coaching journeys. And like I said, it creates this even bigger ripple effect. So if you guys aren't dreaming big and you aren't thinking that you're absolutely capable of achieving this, I hope that you really sit down tonight and think about what it is that you're capable of doing with your life and what you're capable of making happen with coaching. And if fear is something that you're stuck behind right now, I would encourage you to do something when you get off this call that is something that you fear doing. Because I know that the only way that I have grown, and I've said this before, I used to be terrified to even get on team calls. I used to be terrified because I was afraid somebody would say my name and ask me a question. That's how much I hated being on team calls. And now I run these calls and I run trainings, and Declan, can you guys just look at my kid right now? And I was saying I get asked to speak on team calls, and I just think, how crazy is it how much can change and how much you can change in a short period of time when you're willing to step up and face those fears and keep your focus on that big vision and keep your focus on serving others. And that is the end of my rant. Do you guys have any questions about anything that I mentioned, or any comments or concerns, or was it helpful? And if you have any questions about anything else, would you like to ask them?
I'll say something. I just want to say that I thought that was awesome. I feel like I've almost been doing this for a year, and obviously, I think it's like important to always get that reminder that that's why we're doing this in the first place. And it's so easy to get sidetracked. And honestly, I feel like that was a perfect, I don't know, like I needed it. So it's nice to hear and nice to remember that when we're struggling, like even further down the road with our coaches and trying to build our teams and trying to make sure we're doing the trainings, like you said, and finding our challengers and this and that and this, like all of those things are ultimately to help people lead healthy lives. And I have similar moments to you all the time. Like I go to a store and I see people buying things and I'm like, oh my God, like it just kills me, you know, like I really wish I could reach out and help those people. But it's a good reminder, like, as to our vision as a whole and how many lives we're impacting. So thank you.
It is, and I think it's a really important reminder sometimes to have, because like I said, you can get really caught up in thinking of like, oh, I didn't get this done, or oh, yesterday my car broke down and I had to go get my battery replaced and cancel my 2 calls with my coaches, and I felt awful. I felt like I was failing, like I was struggling, and I was thinking, God, I'm going to let people down, and oh my God, I haven't responded to messages for my challengers, and and you just get so sucked into being stuck in your own head sometimes that you don't step back and think like, okay, sometimes I've got to take a minute to focus on me and get what I need to done, and then I can show up and I can give the best of myself to other people. And the bottom line is that we are changing lives, and we can't take that lightly. And I know that I sure don't, because I have had situations in my life that have been life altering. And I know that the state of health in this country is the worst that it's ever been. And if you think about that, when you go to the store, everywhere you look, you're going to see people that are unhealthy, that are overweight, go drive by a McDonald's at any time of day, and that line is jam-packed. You go drive by a fruit stand or a smoothie shop, and you might see 2 cars. And the reality is that there's never going to not be people for us to help. And yes, it's going to require us showing up and working on ourselves every single day and showing up, being consistent to find those people. But don't think that because people are telling you no, or you're struggling to hit Success Club, and that it's all about goals, because it's not. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you hit Success Club 6, great, and you signed up 3 people this month, but if your heart is not at helping them, it doesn't matter. Because you're going to make $90 commission, and who gives a crap? If you don't, the work starts when you sign someone up, because they're literally entrusting you with the opportunity to better their lives and change their lives. And if you're not showing up and giving what you can after filling yourself up and taking care of you, then you're doing people more of a disservice than you are a good. And, months back, I could say probably a year ago now, I had decided that I was going to start recruiting really high levels every month, because that was what I needed to do to build my income at the time. I didn't have a team of working coaches under me. And, I was signing up 10, 15 people a month for a good 6 months in a row. And it got to a point where I was thinking, I can't keep up like this anymore, because I can't possibly give these people my attention like I need to be giving them. And that's why now I hit Success Club every month, but I don't recruit for crazy high numbers, because I want to be able to make sure that I am having a hands-on personal experience with these people that I'm helping. And it's not about numbers, and it's not about money, and it's not about Success Club. Those are just a way to gauge that you're helping people every month. That is all that you look at Success Club for. Yes, I have consistently helped people every single month, and therefore I hit Success Club. But it is not about the rank or the income, or those goals that can be really ego driven sometimes. If you take the ego out of it and you keep your heart focused on helping others, you are always going to hit your goals. I can promise you that. If you really have that heart to show up every day and do your best to make an impact on other people's lives, I can promise you that you are going to hit your goals. It is absolutely inevitable that if if you're struggling to help people, reach out and talk to more people. If you're struggling in your own journey, share about it on Facebook, because there is people that are going to relate to literally anything that you are going through. And the more that people can relate to you, the more open it is going to allow them to be with you, so that you in turn can really make an impact on their lives, because you know deep down to the core what they're struggling with, right? I know that it's funny when I think about it, because a lot of the coaches on this team that are my coaches are people that said no to me for months. People that ignored me. Kelly's a good one. Kelly ignored me for probably 6 months. And every time I'd send her, she even asked about coaching once, and I wrote her about it, and I said, "Wait, and then she ignored me for another 2 months. And I still kept checking on her, because I knew that for her to respond before, there was somewhere in her that she wanted help in some way. I just couldn't connect with her to figure out why. And then one day, I don't know what made her do it, but she wrote me and she said, "I need help. I'm ready to get started. I might be pregnant, but I want to be healthy. And I want to be healthy for my baby when she's born." And here Kelly is now, running her own really successful business. And that's why you don't give up on people, because when your heart is focused on helping them and figuring out how it is you can help them, sometimes people just aren't ready. And it's okay if they say no. But like I've said before, you're planting that seed to let them know that when they are ready for change and they are ready for help, that you're the one that's there and ready to provide that for them. And I actually just got a message while we've been on this call from a girl, and I don't know what it says, but she said, "I've been thinking about reaching out to you for months." And that's all I can see from what I look at right now. But that's what starts to happen when you show up consistently every day and you keep your heart focused in the right place, and you keep, sharing yourself and your life and your journey and your story on Facebook. And I've been sharing some things lately that maybe people don't think are that positive, because I wasn't feeling that way at the time, but it shows that I'm real and I'm human and I struggle, and I'm not Miss Positive Rainbows and Sunshines and Unicorns every day. I have a life and I struggle, but I still show up every day to do better. And when you are vulnerable, you allow other people to do the same, and you can connect better with others. So I hope that if nothing else, that this makes you guys think, and it makes you guys step back and really focus on why you're doing this and why you show up on calls, and why you show up to learn. And know that if your heart's in the right place and you really have that solid purpose, that the consistency is just going to start happening, and it's going to get easier, and you're going to show up and face fears with a little more tenacity, because you know what's on the other side of those fears for you. And like I said, that you can literally achieve any goal and create that vision for your life, but you have to do it first by serving other people, serving your challengers and serving your coaches. So it's 9:15. Does anybody have other questions before I let you guys go? I can't hear you, Laura. Look at your hubby all dressed up. Hold on, Laura. Let me see if I can unmute you. Can you talk now? Can you type? Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any questions before we hop off tonight? Or anything they want to say? Any aha moments they've had, or anything that's going on this week? I know some. Oh, Melissa, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to say thank you so much for this conversation tonight, just because I'm like, I feel all emotional and Laura knows why, but I just feel like it was like exactly what I needed to hear tonight. So I just really, really appreciate the topic. Like it was like the perfect topic for me tonight. And so I just wanted to say thank you.
Girl, don't make me cry, because I've been in a crying mood for 2 days. But I'm glad that it was helpful.
No, I mean, Laura and I just kind of had this conversation, but I'm like, I was just on a lot of estrogen for my IVF therapy, and it's not going to happen. So the estrogen is still all there, and so I'm very emotional. But
crazy hormone.
no, it's just that I have been off just because of my knee injury and then the IVF, and I just finally was like, I need to be consistent. I need to do this for me. And this conversation tonight just made it like so much better, because so I really appreciate it.
I'm glad. And
Sorry.
I know that this is something that's really hard right now, but I know that in time, when you're ready to share that is something that is such a big struggle for so many people, and that's going to be so impactful when you are able to share that, and you really share the deep root reason of why it's so important for you to take care of yourself, and why you show up and do what you do every day, and why you pour your heart into serving other people. And I truly feel that the struggles that we have are what allow us to have more compassion to help people on a deeper level. Because I know that the people's stories, the people that I talk to whose stories resonate with me the most are people who maybe not the same situation, but I can relate to the emotions of what they're feeling. And there's no better feeling than being able to make an impact on somebody's life who's felt like you have once before. So keep on trucking. I know that's not easy for you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything they want to add tonight? No. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for getting on tonight, and thank you for allowing me to think out loud and share with you what was on my mind tonight. And I hope that it was helpful in some way for all of you. I know that sometimes we all need a little bit of a reality check of what we're all here for in the first place. So I love you guys. You guys are my family. And if you don't mind, I want to take a picture, so I need you to smile. Hold on, I'll let you get your bearings, Melissa. Except you're dark, so nobody can tell you've been crying, I promise. Kelly, you gonna put Luna in the picture? Hold on. I can't tell if it's working or not. Well, we'll just hope that it did. Anyways, thanks, guys. I will see you next week. And like always, if you have questions, post them in the team page. Have a good night, guys.